Did you know that one of the most explosive characters in video game history was actually born of a coding error? That's right, today we're diving into the pixelated world of Bomberman, the game where strategy meets pyrotechnics and where blowing up your friends is just a typical Tuesday. But what turned this explosive idea into a gaming icon? Stick around as we uncover the blast from the past that is Bomberman. Bomberman, Bomberman.
Rise to your feet once more, 5 dastardly bombers.
A name that resonates with the sound of explosions and the smell of virtual smoke. We've all been there, sitting on the floor, controller in hand, heart racing as we lay down bombs, hoping not to get cornered. But how did this game, with its simple concept of strategically placing bombs to outwit opponents, become a staple in the gaming world? What's the history behind its creation? And how did it evolve from a basic arcade game to a beloved franchise? From its humble beginnings to its reign as a multiplayer king, the story of Bomberman is as packed with twists and turns as one of its own mazes. In today's journey, we'll navigate through the pixelated corridors of Bomberman's history, exploring how a simple concept of laying bombs became a phenomenon. We'll see how the game not only survived, but thrived through various console generations, each time redefining the essence of multiplayer gaming. So grab your controllers and let's start this explosive adventure. Imagine this, it's the early 1980s. Arcade games are all the rage, and a small team of developers, probably fueled by nothing but pizza and sheer determination, are about to make history. Enter the scene, Bomberman. Originally known as Bakudan Otoko in Japan, which, fun fact, literally translates to Bomb Man. The concept was simple, yet brilliant. A game where players navigate through a maze, placing bombs to clear obstacles and outsmart enemies. But did you know that the iconic ability of Bomberman to lay multiple bombs was actually a result of a programming glitch? That's right, sometimes bugs in the console are not just bugs, they're a feature in disguise. As we delve deeper into the development saga, we uncover that Bomberman wasn't always the multiplayer extravaganza we know today. Its first iteration was a solo mission, with the player against a computer. But like a good cheese, it got better with time.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
The game's evolution into a multiplayer battle royale was what put it on the map. Think about it. Before social media, before online gaming, Bomberman was bringing people together in the living room for some explosive fun. And let's be real, nothing tests friendships like strategically bombing your pals into submission. But who were the masterminds behind this explosive creation? Let's give a big shout out to the unsung heroes, the developers at Hudson Soft. These are the guys who took a simple mechanic and turned it into a formula for addictive gameplay. They didn't just create a game, they created a social phenomenon. Each iteration of Bomberman brought something new to the table. More power-ups, more chaos, and of course, more explosions. It's like they knew exactly what we didn't know we needed in a game. So there you have it. The early days of Bomberman were a mix of accidental genius and deliberate innovation. A game that started as a coding error, but turned into a cornerstone of multiplayer gaming. It's a story of how simplicity, when done right, can lead to something truly groundbreaking. And that, my friends, is just the beginning of the Bomberman journey. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're about to see how a game about a little guy dropping bombs left a colossal impact on the world. That's right, Bomberman didn't just stay in Japan, it exploded onto the global scene, faster than you can say fire up. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the arcades of America and the living rooms of Europe, Bomberman became a universal language of fun. But it wasn't just the game's addictive gameplay that captivated players around the globe. It was the ability to bring players together, transcending language and cultural barriers. In an era Where online multiplayer was just a sci-fi dream, Bomberman was the OG of social network. But wait, there's more. Bomberman didn't just influence our Saturday night gaming session, it left a mark on the gaming industry itself. It was like the cool kid at school that everyone wanted to be, or at least be friends with. Its unique blend of strategy, action, and multiplayer chaos inspired countless other games. Developers took notes, realizing that simplicity plus fun equals a gaming goldmine. And let's not forget about the character of Bomberman himself, a face so iconic it's right up there with the mustache plumber and the blue hedgehog. Talk about being in good company. Now, for the real gaming connoisseurs, here's a little trivia nugget for you. Did you know that the original Bomberman was actually a robot working to earn his freedom? Yeah, there was some deep lore behind those explosive escapades. It's like finding out your favorite party game has a backstory worthy of a novel. And this is the beauty of Bomberman, a game that's easy to pick up, but has layers like an onion, or should I say, like a bomb waiting to explode with surprises. In a nutshell, Bomberman's cultural impact is like the blast radius of its own bombs, far-reaching and unforgettable. It's a testament to how a game can become more than just pixels on a screen. It can become part of our lives, our culture, our memories. And as we continue to unpack the story of this legendary game, it's clear that Bomberman isn't just a game, it's a cultural phenomenon that defined what it means to play together. Alright, let's turn down the nostalgia goggles for a moment and take a detour through the rougher patches of Bomberman's journey. Because let's face it, even the best games have their fair share of obstacles and controversies. It's like trying to navigate a Bomberman maze blindfolded. Not very easy. First up, creating a game that balances simplicity with engaging gameplay is no small feat. The developers at Hudson Soft faced the challenge of keeping the game fresh and exciting with each new release. Imagine the pressure. It's like trying to defuse a bomb while everyone's watching. Cut that blue wire. Each iteration had to ante up, add new features, and keep the core gameplay explosive. All of this while ensuring that a game didn't lose its original charm. Talk about walking a tightrope over a pool of lava. Bomberman might seem like all fun and games, but it had its moments of contention. Remember the time when they tried to reimagine Bomberman in a gritty dystopian world? Yeah, that was about as well received as a bull in a china shop. Fans were less thrilled, proving that sometimes messing with a classic formula could backfire spectacularly. It was a reminder that even the most beloved franchises aren't immune to missteps. And then of course there's always the debate about violence in video games. Sure, Bomberman is cartoony and far from realistic, but it does revolve around blowing stuff up. Critics have raised eyebrows, questioning the impact of such themes on impressionable minds. It's a hot potato issue. Does virtual bombing encourage aggressive behavior, or is it just harmless fun? The jury may still be out, but it's a conversation worth having. In the end, the story of Bomberman's challenges is a reflection of the gaming industry as a whole. It's a world where innovation is a double-edged sword, and where every creative decision can be a potential minefield. Through it all, Bomberman has managed to stay true to its core, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of this explosive classic. Alright, strap in as we blast into the legacy of Bomberman, where the explosions are not just on the screen, but also in its impact on the gaming world. This little bomb-dropping character didn't just set off explosives and mazes, it set off a chain reaction in the whole industry. Let's start with the sheer staying power of Bomberman. This game has been around for decades, surviving the rise and fall of consoles. Trends coming and going like fashion disasters of the 80s, and still, Bomberman remains a beloved classic. It's like that one-hit wonder song you just can't get out of your head. Except Bomberman keeps churning out the hits. From 8-bit graphics to modern consoles, it adapted faster than a chameleon in a rainbow. The secret? A timeless formula of fun that feels just as fresh today as it did back then. And what about its influence on game design? Bomberman took the concept of multiplayer gaming and turned it into a party. Before battle royales were cool, Bomberman had players frantically trying to outsmart each other in real time. It was like a digital game of chess, but with more explosions and less thinking. This format has inspired countless games since, proving that sometimes the best way to bring people together is by letting them blow each other up in a virtual world. And you can't forget the community and fandom. Bomberman has fostered a fan base as diverse as the power-ups in the game. From competitive players who strategize like generals to casual gamers who just want to watch the world burn. Bomberman does something for everyone. Fan art, cosplay, online forums, you name it. Bomberman fans have done it. It's not just a game, it's a part of people's lives. The kind of game you talk about with strangers and instantly bond over. That's the kind of social magic Bomberman has cast over the years. In essence, the legacy of Bomberman is like a perfectly timed bomb explosion in the gaming industry. Impactful, memorable, and leaving a mark that can't be erased. It's a game that taught us that sometimes the simplest ideas can be the most explosive. And in the world of video games, where complexity and graphics often take a front seat, Bomberman reminds us that at the end of the day, it's all about having a blast. Quite literally. And here we are at the end of our explosive journey through the world of Bomberman. We've navigated the mazes of its history, dodged the bombs of its challenges, and revealed in the power-ups of its legacy. From its humble beginnings as a coding glitch to becoming a multiplayer phenomenon, Bomberman has showed us that the simplest ideas can often be the most revolutionary. It's a game that transcends generations, consoles, and cultural barriers, proving that the joy of gaming is as universal as language. Whether it was bringing friends together for a night of competitive fun, or inspiring game designers to think outside of the box, Bomberman's influence is as widespread as the range of its biggest bombs. But perhaps the most important legacy of Bomberman is the reminder that in the heart of every great game is the ability to bring joy. In a world where video games are often scrutinized and criticized, Bomberman stands as a testament to the pure, unadulterated fun that gaming can provide. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and in doing so, invites players of all ages to join in the fun. So as we conclude this explosive saga, I leave you with a question to ponder. In an industry that's constantly evolving and chasing the next big thing, what lessons can we take from the enduring charm and simplicity of Bomberman? Maybe sometimes in our quest for the new and the groundbreaking, it's worth taking a step back and appreciating the classics. The games that remind us why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. Until next time, keep your bombs at the ready and your strategy sharp. Who knows what gaming adventures await us around the next corner? If you enjoyed uncovering the explosive history of Bomberman and want to see more from the Retro Reload, click on this video here.